Breaking developments on an exclusive Target 11 investigation.
The state health department now moving to terminate its contract with Insight Global. That is the contact tracing company accused of exposing the personal health information of 72,000 Pennsylvanians. Target 11's Rick Earl is the one who broke this story wide open.
And Rick, you also found out the company still has not started reaching out to these folks.
Yeah, Lisa and David, it's been about a month since we first exposed that massive data breach. And an email we obtained today indicates the company still hasn't alerted people. All of this comes as the state moved today to end the contract before the July 31st deadline. Target 11 has learned the state health department will terminate the contract with Insight Global on June 19th, more than a month ahead of schedule. State Representative Jason Ortizai, who called for the immediate termination of the contract in April, is pleased with the development.
I'm happy that they have changed that. Now we can feel safe and secure when these contact tracing calls occur, and we don't have to worry about Insight Global and their handling of this anymore.
The state has paid Insight Global $29 million so far to do contact tracing. In April, Target 11 broke the story about a massive data breach involving personal health information Insight Global had obtained from more than 70,000 contacts across the state. In an email obtained by Target 11, the health department didn't give a reason for expediting the termination, only saying they take the security of personal information very seriously and after evaluating the circumstances, decided to terminate the contract. The email also said contact tracing will continue, and at a news conference this afternoon, the acting health secretary hinted at hiring a new company.
As we transition out of the Insight Global contract and into our next contract with an entity to help with these contact tracing services.
The email also indicated that Insight Global will begin notifying those impacted by the data breach this week. That came as a surprise to Representative Ortizai.
This notification should have happened immediately. Why it hasn't happened, I don't know. If it's another misstep by the department or by Insight Global.
Now, the state has already given notice to Insight Global that the contract will now end in 30 days. Tonight, it's unclear who the state plans to hire to take over contact tracing duties. Reporting live at the breaking news desk this evening, Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.